One of the most interesting questions that we get asked is, who is the Messiah? Is it Jesus Christ or is it Muhammad? Now, the Quran in Surah 5:17 says, surely in disbelief are they who say Allah is the Messiah, son of Mary, say of Muhammad, who then has the least power against Allah if he were to destroy the Messiah, son of Mary, his father, and those who are on the earth altogether. So here we get a reference here, Surah 5:17, that it clearly says that Jesus is the Messiah. But you'd actually find that most of Islam would probably agree that Jesus is the Messiah and Muhammad is the last prophet. But it's further is complicated by this book. It's called The Jews of Arab Lands, A History of the Jews by Norman Stillman. Now this traces the Jews in Arabia, and what is not known is that the Jews in Arabia, the Jews practically owned Arabia at the time of Muhammad. They controlled most of it. They had all the important jobs, they controlled it, and there were over 20 plus Jewish tribes in the area, and Muhammad was sent to these Jewish tribes in Arabia. He wasn't actually sent to the Israelites. That's a little misnomer there, because the Jews of Arab lands, it tells you that when the Jews were kicked out of Palestine or Israel in 70 AD, they all went to Arabia, or most of them went to Arabia. Now Muhammad's first Jewish convert, was a bit on page 113, was a rabbi. So the first convert Muhammad ever had outside his own immediate family was somebody by the name of Allah Salam. And here it says here, I'll read it there actually. Ibn Isaac stated, the following is a part of the story of Allah Salam concerning him and his conversation as told by me and one of his relatives. He was a rabbi and a scholar, and he said, when I heard about the Apostle of Allah, may Allah bless him and grant him peace, I realized from his description, his name, and his time that he was the one whom we had been expecting. So what does this mean? Well, Muhammad was the one that the Jews were expecting, according to this Jewish rabbi. He was the first real convert to Islam, and he was called Abdu Allah Salam. I was delighted by that and kept silent until the Apostle of Allah came to Medina. When he alighted in Kuba among the Abu Mubi, a man came to announce his arrival. I was working at the time at the top of one of the palm trees, and my aunt was a Khalida Harith, was sitting below, and when I heard the news of the Apostle arrived, I cried, Allah is most great. Hearing this, my aunt said to me, by Allah, you had heard that Moses, the son of Amra or Aaron or whatever, was coming, and you could not have been more excited. I answered her, indeed, aunt, he is, by Allah, Moses' brother, and follows his religion. So Muhammad followed the religion of Moses. Well, we know that to be the Torah. He has been sent with the same mission. So Muhammad was, according to the story, which a lot of the Muslims don't even break down or consider the concept behind it all. Here we have a Jewish rabbi who says, this is the man the Jews were expecting, and he is a brother of Moses and follows Moses' religion. Well, it doesn't sound much like an Ishmaelite to me when you read the story. It sounds more like Muhammad was following the religion of the Jews more than he was following the religion of Ishmael. Of course, considering there was a large Jewish hegemony at the time of Arabia, and the Jews practically owned the place. He asked, "O nephew, is he the prophet that we have been told will be sent at this very time?" Reply, "Yes," I replied. This is the Rabbi, of course. Then it is so. Then I went to the Apostle of Allah, blessed him, granted him peace, and accepted Islam. Afterwards I returned home and ordered the members of the household to convert, which they did. So he went on, "I concealed my conversion from the Jews, then came to the Apostle and said to him, O Apostle of Allah, the Jews are a people given to falsehood. I would like you to take me to one of your apartments and hide me from them, then ask me about me, so that they may tell you how I regarded among the people before they learn of my conversion. For if they know about it already, they will slander and denounce me." This was obviously a very learned and famous rabbi who was the first real convert to Islam, and he feared the Jews and their reaction when he accepted Muhammad as some type of prophet of Moses. If you read the story, you follow Moses' religion. And so, was he the Messiah the Jews were waiting for, or is it really Jesus Christ? Now this is the problem that we have with the religions. I'll just finish off with this. This is the Rabbi of the Rabbi. "He is the chief and the son of our chief, our Rabbi, and our leading scholar," they replied. As they finished speaking, I came out in front of them and said, "O Jews, fear Allah and accept what he has sent to you. For by Allah, you surely know that he is the Apostle of Allah, and you will find him foretold in the Torah, both by his name and his description. And I bear witness that he is the Apostle of Allah. Believe in him and declare him to be true and acknowledge him." "You lie," screamed the Jews, or they cried, and went on to slander me. And then I said to the Apostle of Allah, may Allah bless him and grant him peace, "Did I not tell you, O Apostle, they were slandering, treacherously lying, and immoral people?" And so here we have the story that a very famous rabbi was convinced Muhammad was the one the Jews were waiting for, and not actually Jesus Christ, and we're all led to believe through the Torah and through the gospel message, and even the Quran seems to indicate that Muhammad was just really a prophet and given the impression that Jesus is the Messiah. So what do we expect to believe? Are we to believe Muhammad is the Messiah whose name is in the Torah? Now, if Muhammad's name is in the Torah, he'd be an Israelite. He wouldn't be an Ishmaelite, because the Torah is an Israelite book, and the Quran has some interesting ideas in there, and you will find actually 1/3 of the Quran comes from Scripture, the Old and New Testament, and the lost books of the Bible and Gnostic books and books, Jewish Midrash, I think they call it, and Talmud, books the Jews have that they don't consider it as part of the canon. There are also 23 prophets I've counted that come from Israel. I think there's 25 prophets altogether, but I'm not familiar with all the names in Arabic, and so I've counted at least 23 come from Israel, prophets. The book claims to confirm the Torah. It confirms to claim the Gospel. It has a hidden code of the number 19 as well. And we also have angels, Gabriel, Israel's angel Gabriel, who sent down the message. So we also have this little reference in Surah 27, if I can quickly find it here. 27, that the Quran was sent down to the people of Israel. And we find Allah actually made a covenant with the people of Israel. And here it says in Surah 27, verse 76, "And verily this Quran narrates to the children of Israel say the children of Ishmael, it says, verily this Quran narrates to the children of Israel most of that which they differ. So it's an Israelite book, but few people really understand it. This book is just another edition of the Gospel, of the Torah. It's the same God, the same Israelite God. It's just sent down another edition. And you find actually when you look at the book of Revelation, chapter 11, you find a little scroll that gets sent down by an angel. And I suspect that little scroll ends up being this little book. And that's all for now.